Smart strategy, real conversations, bigger margins. This is Chasing the Margin podcast.
All right, so today we have Ivan Funes. Ivan, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it. We're really excited to have you as one of our first guests on. So
Absolutely. I'm excited to be the first.
yeah, that's right. So Ivan's the first one. So things are going to be rocking and rolling today. We'll go through lots of stuff. Ivan's going to teach us everything about his industry and things that he has going on. So,
Right.
So Ivan, I think my wife, the first question that she had was, when will the Aston be ready to be picked up? When would you like us to swing by and get it? That's the ultimate question.
You come pick it up right now.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. It's ready when you are.
So for those who don't know Ivan, because that's kind of a leading question, tell us about what you do, why you like what you do, what do you have going on?
So I own Wolfe Motors, which is a kind of higher end luxury car dealership, I guess you would say. And I mean, why I do it is I love cars.
Yeah.
Always loved cars, right? Since I was little, since I can remember. My father was a car guy. My brother was a car guy. I'm a car guy. My son, he's 8. He's a car guy. He can spot cars out on the highway and tell you what they are, what color they are, what year they are. So we've always been car guys.
Yeah.
So, the saying is, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. That's literally me now.
Yeah.
Because I love cars. I get to see all these nice cars every single day, especially with the dealership now. They're all mine, right? So it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So growing up, you said your dad was a car guy. Did he have any cars around? Was there anything that he had himself?
No, he would have cars himself. He would go and find good deals, right?
Yeah.
On where there was a nice pickup truck or a nice sports car. When he was, first came to the States, he had a 1980 Corolla 2-door coupe. Had no business owning a coupe because he had a family of 4, right? But he did. And he had a good deal on it, and he always had this thing for these, sports cars or nice trucks or a good deal, and would teach us. And he was a big Toyota guy. I mean, that's all we owned was Toyota this, Toyota that. But that was his thing, right? Let's go find a good deal and drive it for a year, right, and make a profit on it. That was his thing.
But let's be honest, like when a car guy sees a coupe, he sees his family, he's like, I can fit my family in that car.
Oh, absolutely. There was a time where my dad was driving to Houston. My brother's like 3. And my mom's pregnant with me, and my dad's like drag racing down 35.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? Like, this is why I didn't want this car. So, no, 100%. He's like, yeah, I can make this work.
Yeah.
Even though he couldn't.
Well, I think my family, my dad is secretly probably a car guy, but we've never had nice cars because we've never been able to afford nice cars. But we're all like 6 foot tall, super tall individuals. And my dad was like, oh, well, I want a convertible. So he bought my mom this Volkswagen convertible, and all 4 of us, including my sister and my parents, fit in this little bitty car, and we're all just hunched over, just like rolling down the freeway. Doesn't matter.
Hey, he made it work. He made it work.
That's right.
He made it work.
That's right. So, Ivan, what is it that you feel like was the moment for you that was like, this is for sure what I'm supposed to do? This is why I want to become a car guy. This is why I want to get into the car industry. Was there like a specific moment that like flipped a switch for you?
To open up the dealership or just to be in a car?
Just to get in cars.
I know exactly what moment it was. I grew up landscaping my whole life with my father since I was 9 until I was 18. I mowed lawns from 5 a.m. till 7:30 in the morning, and then he would drop me off at school. I'd go mow lawns. Mom would pick me up after school, go drop me off wherever Dad was, and I'd mow lawns till sundown. So that was kind of the mentality that we had. We were going to be landscapers. Well, my brother had gotten a job at a Toyota store, and he was selling cars. He was 19, right? So at the time, I was 15. And, I'm getting ready to go to work. He's getting ready to go on a plane to Vegas because he had been top 10% of Toyota in the company, right? So he's going to Vegas. He's going to go party, right?
Yeah.
And, he has brand new Toyota Tundra, brand new Camry, was just about to close on his house, wearing suits, wearing, Mont Blancs. I mean, he had
so he was big pimping.
He was big pimping, right? And I'm like, man, he's going there, and I'm going to go work and mow lawns. And I was pissed. I remember I was pissed. I was so mad. It was like 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, this sucks. And he's like, dude, one day you'll get there. I'm like, dude, don't touch me. Like, leave me alone. I'm like, yeah, you're going to Vegas. I'm about to go bust my ass for 12 hours, right? because it was summertime. And it was at that moment I was like, if he has it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Right. And my brother's very talented, but I was like, I've always followed in my brother's footsteps. So it was that moment I was like, okay, so we love cars already. Like, he's dresses nice, about to buy a house, has 2 brand new cars. I mean, I was like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that lifestyle.
Yeah. So do you feel like your brother was one of the biggest influences on your life in general, just as an inspiration, not even just the car side, just as an inspiration of who you would like to become?
I mean, he's by far out of my whole life, he is like my biggest mentor and the person that guides me through the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my number one inspiration. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, I feel like entrepreneurs in general, like, it's kind of two sides of the coin. Sometimes they have great inspirations within their family. Sometimes they don't. And then it's like sometimes those people inspire them to become better, or sometimes the lack of those people inspire them to become that person because they don't have those people in their life. So
I agree. Yeah. No, my brother definitely, that's what flipped the switch for me. My dad always had a great work ethic, right? But he didn't know, like, how do we get to the next level?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you don't know, and nobody taught him, right?
Yeah.
And my brother was able to kind of pave the way for me, for us to get to that next level. So yeah, definitely. I think that was the day that it was a turning point. I was like, okay, I'm going to be in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think the actual work ethic kicked in? Do you think it was in your 20s, in your 30s? I mean, you're not that old of a guy. When do you think the age kind of kicked in where you were like, oh, I'm just going to work and whatever it takes?
That was probably taught to me by our father at 9, 10.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like, not by choice, right? It wasn't like, hey, you're going to go mow lawns. And he was asking us, like, he was telling us, right?
Yeah.
So we did it. But at a very young age, we realized that, our parents never paid for our clothes, never paid for, like, anything. If you wanted it, hey, you're going to work with me and you're going to get paid at the end of the week and you buy it yourself,
Yep.
right? So, like, my parents only put a roof over our head and food, right? Outside of that, everything else was funded by us, by the paycheck that we earned from our father. So I learned at a very young age that if you want it, you can work for it. So I learned work ethic. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So
okay.
my father taught us that at a very young age. Like, we had to learn that, like, ASAP.
So this is on my questions, and we'll just go ahead and jump into it because you brought it up. I want you to rate these 3 things. Okay. Hard work, talent, or intelligence.
Hard work.
Hard work?
Hard work every time.
What do you think? Does luck have anything to do with the whole becoming successful, or do you think it's purely hard work?
So my definition of luck, and I was taught this at 20 years old by another one of my mentors, is luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's what luck is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're going to get put in certain rooms, but if you're not prepared to have those conversations or seize the opportunity, then you're going to miss it, right?
Yeah.
That's what luck is. So I believe in luck, but that's the definition of luck to me. So it's either hard work or talent. And I can say, me or my brother, we're not the most talented people in the world, but we're going to outwork you.
Yeah.
Right? We're probably C players, B players, right? And some guy might be an A player because he's so talented, but we're going to be up before him and up after that person, right?
Yeah.
So hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
If you're, talented and you work hard, you're going to crush it. You're going to dominate, right? You're going to be part of that 1%, the billionaires. So yeah, hard work every time. 100%. Talent second. I think with enough hard work, you end up becoming talented. And that's when the talented guys go backwards because they don't work hard. They don't have to work for it, right? They already have it. But that's when you start going backwards. When the moment you feel that you've arrived, you've lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we even see that in professional athletes. We see these guys in college that are so good, like they're just crushing everybody they play.
Absolutely.
But then they go to the professional level
and they get demolished.
Exactly.
Because now you're at a high level. Because these guys are up before you, up after you, like Kobe Bryant, right? He was murdering everybody. Why?
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to go out and party. He didn't want to go do this. When these guys were doing everything else besides basketball, he was out there in the gym. He was working out, right? He was getting his reps in.
Yep.
That's all it is, right?
Yep.
So with all the hard work, he became talented.
Yep. Yeah.
So
my favorite stories about Kobe are the guys that have met Kobe and they'll talk about going into the gym to prep for a game. and Kobe will already be there.
Absolutely.
And then he will stay until they leave. And then they'll ask him why. And he'll say, well, I wasn't going to let you stay longer than me. It was the mentality, kind of like you're saying.
Yeah.
He wanted them to know, regardless of how hard they worked, he would outwork them
100%.
regardless.
100%. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's true. It's true. Because if you do something enough, you're eventually going to get good at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how bad you are.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't matter.
So then you've always had a pretty hard work ethic. Do you think there's ever been a moment in your life where maybe an opportunity, it was almost luck, but because of, like you said, you had worked so hard, you were prepared for the opportunity, that without that, you wouldn't be where you are today?
Oh, absolutely. A
Okay.
lot of times. I mean, perfect example. I was selling cars at a Toyota store. My brother was a finance guy, right? He was a finance manager, right? And I would go into his office and I'd be like, hey, teach me this, teach me that. And I had no business learning, what finance department did at a Toyota store. I was selling cars.
Yeah.
But he would still take time out of his day to tell me, hey, this is how we do it. This is why. So he was teaching me all these things. So when it did come for a time to, hey, who are we going to promote? I was already ready.
Yeah.
These guys that they were going to try to promote were barely about to start getting trained for that, right? So when it was, that slot opened up, I was already like trained.
Yep.
Right? So was it a little bit of luck? Absolutely. But it was a little bit of prep work behind that by my brother behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
So I was already ready to go. I was a plug and play guy.
Well, according to you, you've been working at it since you were 9 years old. So
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
ready to roll.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's one of the things that I noticed on your LinkedIn that I was kind of curious at myself,
Yeah.
because as you know, numbers is my background.
Mm-hmm.
So it says you were originally a finance manager is how you kind of got started. And then you switched over to sales.
So
Why?
So I started selling cars on my 18th birthday
Okay.
in 2009. The day I turned 18, I started selling cars.
Yeah.
I had a full ride to college for singing, which is crazy. I was going to class from 8 to 12. I would drive back, sell cars
Yeah.
from noon till close, literally change in the bathroom, and start selling cars. Sold my first car my first day. I sold cars for 9 months. And in 9 months, the finance position opened up, but it was going to be a full-time position. So I had a choice, either continue my major in broadcasting journalism with a minor in music, because that's what paid for my college essentially,
Sure.
or leave the scholarship and go full-time at Toyota and be, committed to the auto industry. And I did that.
So you didn't finish college?
I did not finish college.
How far did you get?
I did 2 years.
2 years?
2 years, and a year and a half, honestly, 3 semesters.
And then you just felt like college was going to hold you back from what you wanted to do?
No, yes, because I know that by the time I would graduate, I'd be so far behind the guys who were already in the business, and I didn't want to fall back behind.
Yeah.
And it was tough, right? Because none of my brother hadn't gone to a big university. I had a full ride to North Texas, so it was a big deal to my parents because we couldn't afford to pay college.
Yeah.
So the fact that I got a full ride for singing, they were like, happy as heck.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, you know what? It's just not what I want to do. Like, I want to sing, right? I want to be in front of the camera, but I don't want to make $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
And hope that maybe I'll make it to CNN one day and be in front of a camera and maybe make $150,000 a year. I made $100,000 my first year selling cars.
Yeah.
In 9 months.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can do that now with no degree. Sales is the way to go. And I dropped out. I went full time. My mother didn't talk to me for 2 months, which was probably to me the worst 2 months of my life, because I talk to my mom every day.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're super close to your family.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. My dad, we can go a couple days without talking, right? Because he's my dad. He's
Yeah.
a very man of very few words. My mom, we talk daily.
When's the last time you talked to your mom?
This morning.
Yeah.
Actually, 30 minutes ago before I came up here. Yeah. My brother, same thing, right? So, yeah, that was the biggest turning point when I left college, and she was upset and it sucked. But now looking back, she's happy I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of touched on this, and I'm curious about this because I struggle with this myself. Do you as an individual, regardless of what you achieve as a person, always kind of feel that sense of you're behind, regardless of how much success you achieve? Or do you have that set point in your mind where it's like, once I hit this goal, I've made it, and like I'll be good and I can coast?
So I've always said the moment you think you've arrived, you've lost, right? That's my saying. Yes, I always panic, right? I'm always looking for something. Well, my father always taught us there's always work to be done. There was always something because he'd see us laying around. He's like, hey, if you don't have something to do, I'll find something for you to do.
Yeah.
So, when I think I've got all my work done, right, my tasks or everything else throughout the day, I look and I'm like, I know there's more stuff, and I'll find and I'll start freaking out. I'm like, there's all these things that we can do. So yeah, I'm always finding something else, and I've always think there is always something else to do because our father taught us that.
Yeah.
And the guys like my sales managers and my sales guys are like, man, you're constantly finding something. I'm like, because the work isn't done.
Yeah.
Right? We can always sell one more car. We can always sell, one more car a day. That's 30 cars a month. Do that times 12 months. That's a game changer, right?
Yeah.
That's how I would motivate my sales guys. I'm like, hey, if you could sell 3 more cars a month times your commission times a year times 10 years, like multiply that. Like, it can be life-changing. So the extra hour of work can pay off.
Do you feel like the best salespeople have to have that quality of like just one more, just a little further, just a little more?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I was going to say no, but I'm like, no, yeah, you do. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Because if your goal is 20, right, and it's halfway through the month and you have 13 out and you're pacing 25, no, now the goalpost should be moved. It should be 30 now because you're going to hit 20,
Right.
right? So don't
Right.
settle for it because the moment you settle, you've already lost.
Right.
I've always told people that. I'm like, and they're like, why do you keep moving goalposts? Like our first full month, I wanted to sell, I'll never forget, I wanted to sell 25 cars. I told my wife, I go, babe, we just got to sell 25 cars. We sold 41.
Yeah.
And this month I was like, hey, we need to sell 50.
Yeah.
She's like, you wanted to sell 30. I go, yeah, but now we've already done that.
Yeah.
We can sell 50. The goalpost has to move. And the guys, whoever works for me, they have to have that mentality because if not, then we can't work together.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to make less. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good note for you is for anybody who's interested in selling, especially in the automotive industry. You're the guy. You're willing to pay them, but you want them to know when you come in, we're going for it.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not going to sit around and do nothing.
No, absolutely. We're not going to sit here and stare at a computer and hope that somebody walks in the door. You're going to make it happen, but we will pay. I always tell people, you sell the cars, you'll get paid. It's very simple, right? But I'm not going to give you a fat guarantee and, hey, at the end of the month, you're going to collect your check. If you're looking for that, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that sales in general is the hardest industry. Like it does not matter what you're selling. Sales is the hardest job in the business. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no safety in that, right? I mean, we give like our guys a draw, right? But it's really advanced against your commissions, right? You pay somebody $4,000, like that's you owe me $4,000 until you sell and you outsell your draw, right? If you make $7,000, then at that point at the end of the month, I only pay you the additional $3,000, right? But it's an advance. That's all it is. It's not a salary,
right?
I tell people all the time when I hire them, I give them the ugly truth. Hey, you don't break your draw 2 months in a row, you're gone.
Yeah,
it's very simple because at that point I'm just giving money away,
right?
So you got to put up the numbers.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hop into it for real then. So as you know, Chasing the Margin is meant to interview entrepreneurs, hear about their story, why they did what they did.
Right.
So you and I both know you've been in sales for a long time.
Yep.
You've been selling cars. Yeah, 16 years.
16 years.
So you're very successful at it. You made great money doing it.
Right.
You and I also both know that entrepreneurship sucks at moments.
Oh, yeah.
So why open up the business? When did you open up the business? Just tell us about what led to opening up Wolfe Motors.
So July of 24 is when I opened up Wolfe Motors. I had been at a franchise place for about 12 years. I left because I was making great money, probably the most money I had ever made.
Right.
Which is a big Toyota store here in Dallas. My son was probably about 4 at the time, and he's like, hey, I had taught him at a very young age, hey, let's make a deal. Let's shake hands, right? And I was like, anytime that you make a deal with a man, like you shake hands, you interlock, right here, and you look him in the eyes, and you say, let's make a deal.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. So I had taught him this at a young age. I come home one night. It's like 10:30 at night, and he's like, he's fighting his sleep. He's like, Dad, I want to make a deal with you. He's in his room. I'm like, what's up? So I go in his room. It's like 11:30.
Super late.
Super late. Oh yeah, he had no business being up. But
For
he
those
fought
who
it.
don't know, 8 o'clock is my bedtime.
Yeah,
So
so you got to be in bed early. So he stays up and he's like, hey, my wife was really good about, hey, your dad works because of this, your dad works because of that. He's trying to take care, provide. He goes, Dad, I want to make a deal. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of deal do you want to make? He's like, well, I want you to shake my hand first. I said, no, it doesn't work that way. You tell me what the deal is, then I'll shake your hand. He goes, Mom says that we have this big house and have all these toys because you work so hard.
oh yeah,
I said, that's true, right? I said, you're right. And he goes, okay, I want to make a deal. How about we sell half the house and I'll sell half my toys and I get to spend more time with you.
oh yeah,
That killed me.
yeah,
I mean, I went to his bathroom and I cried for 30 minutes.
yeah,
That was 3 months before I went to a different independent shop. And I mean, I quit. I had just broke the record at one of the largest stores in Toyota in Dallas, and I quit.
yeah,
Or like everyone was like, what? Like, you crazy? Like, you just broke the record. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, money didn't matter to me at that point.
yeah,
My son mattered. So I got recruited by another independent store similar to my setup, and I was there. My wife was like, hey, like, you guys are killing it. You guys are selling cars, but why don't you do this on your own? And I was like, hey, just give me some time, like, not right now. She goes, no, we need to do this. So it turned out that place that didn't end up working out. Comp was kind of changed, and
sure,
I was like, hey, I'm not going to do it for this. And so I left.
yeah,
I left. I went to Puerto Rico for 10 days, and we just hung out. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And that's how Wolfe Motors came about.
So it was there in Puerto Rico that you were like, had you already had the vision in your head and you knew it was a matter of time, or did you just in that moment say, I need to step out and do this?
I mean, it was a vision in my mind, but wasn't. So when I have like a goal, like, it's set.
Yeah,
It wasn't set. It was like, yeah, I could do that one day.
yeah,
Down the road, like, 2 years, 5 years. It wasn't really like defined, like, hey, we're going to go do this. It was in Puerto Rico with my wife when we decided, you know what? Like, we are going to do this. I'm not going to go work for somebody else anymore.
yeah,
Like, we're going to do this on our own.
yeah,
And yeah, it was in Puerto Rico. When we came back, that's when I called you and I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And you kind of guided me on the right directions of who to contact. And yeah, I mean, it was a long 9 months after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only so much we can do
Right.
to advise you. The ultimate part of it is like you've got to have the heart to do it.
Right.
And this has been all you. It's been amazing to see the success so far. We're super excited to continue to watch the success. So you've touched on like so many things that I want to ask you about just in that like 3 minutes that you're talking about starting. So the first thing that I would ask is, do you think you could have done any of this without the wife, without having her support?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Absolutely.
So when she listens to this, that will be the correct answer.
It's all you, babe. No, absolutely not. Because, like I said, I've always been goal driven, and when I want something, I'm gonna go do it. But she was just kind of like, "You need to, like, ready to kick me off the ledge. Like, you need to go do this." And I learned a lot in my last place how to do this. But no, absolutely, she was, for 9 months. I had no income coming in, right?
Yep.
We had savings, but she does well, and I mean, she held the fort down.
Yeah.
Well, I was literally either figuring out how to do something, how to either get licenses or permits or whatever it was, or play golf. Played a lot of golf.
That's right.
I played a lot of golf,
But that's work. That's definitely the work.
100%. No, none of this would have been possible without my wife. Absolutely not.
What do you think is maybe some of the things that she's helped along the way or that she's brought to the table that's really helped you to continue to push forward?
I would say just a different set of eyes.
Uh-huh.
What I think is good might necessarily be good, right? Or for example, like the interior design of the space, right? I wanted it a certain way. She came and changed it up, and I've got so many compliments because different set of eyes. She's a woman, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest impact is that how we actually want to run the business, what kind of business we want to be, right? Because you think auto dealerships, they're trying to get over on me, right? So we decided to do a one price strategy, the way that it's designed, just make a fair profit, right?
Yeah.
We're not trying to get to the moon on one deal. We're instead of selling a customer one car, we want to sell them 10.
Yeah.
Right. And the way you do that is by just taking care of the customer. Be transparent. You're going to obviously make a small profit, right? But you're not trying to get to the moon off one deal,
Right.
by crushing their soul, which a lot of auto dealers do. So I completely changed the pricing strategy of how we run our business. We're transparent. Yeah, we're going to make a little bit, but we're not going to just completely annihilate you on one deal. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. So it's more about the relationship with that individual person
100%.
than it is about the car that you're trying to sell at the moment.
Right. Because the last thing you want is you buy a car and 6 months later someone tells you, oh man, he overcharged you, right?
Yeah.
So we'll make a fair profit according to the market, right? And we're going to hopefully keep that customer for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're getting at is back to earlier, the Aston will be discounted to where you will sell it cheaper than
Absolutely.
what you bought it for.
Well, we got to chase the margin.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's about the margin.
It's about the margin.
Yeah, we got to get back to
It's not going to be crazy, but it'll be fair.
yeah. Do you think that the larger dealerships that you've worked for in the past have been more about just the sale than the relationship with the individual client?
100%. 100%. Like when they say like you were just a number, like a customer were just a number, 100%.
Yeah.
We were going to make, if we could make all the money, we were going to.
Yeah.
It was just simple as that. And I never liked it, right? But that was just the business.
Yeah.
So now that I own my own dealership and it's my business, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, again, I don't want to sell you. And I like say this every day to my guys, like, we don't want to sell one car. We want to sell them 10 cars. Right.
Yeah.
I want to sell their kids, right? I want to sell everybody. And the way that you do that is treat them good, give them a fair price on their car, on our car, right? And then treat them like millionaires, right?
Yeah.
What's it saying? Treat everybody like millionaires, and they'll be a customer for life. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we do.
So then what do you think? Because, well, I guess my first question is, do you get reward in general, like in making the sale and seeing the person walk away with a car?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love seeing like our Wolfe Motors plates, like down the tollway or anywhere else, or them, when they take delivery, the picture delivery. I love that. And that's, to me, it's so satisfying because I know where, I bought that car from. I know that it's a good car because it's been fully serviced, right? If it's a bad car, that's another thing. If it's a bad car, I'm not going to sell it.
Yeah.
I won't put my name on a car that I know it's a bad car. If it's going to break down in 6 months, I'm not going to sell you that car.
Would you rather just eat the cost?
100%. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it. We've been open 3 months. I've done it at least 10 times.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to put my name on it. So our cars are fully serviced. We take care of, we take care of all the car, everything that the car needs. If it needs tires, if it needs brakes, and then I feel good about that car driving off the lot, and I know that customer is going to have no issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
that's my satisfaction.
tell us about a moment that was like a really rewarding experience, just in general, with maybe it was a specific customer or just a specific car, whatever it was, something that really sticks out to you in your history of selling cars as like, man, it was just a heartwarming experience for that specific sale.
I would say over the course of my career, probably be the first one that we sold. The first one that we sold at Wolfe Motors.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I've sold thousands of cars, right?
Yeah.
We're selling 500 cars a month. So do that times whatever. It's a lot of cars. It's thousands of cars.
Yeah.
But the most rewarding one to me was the very first one that we sold at Wolfe Motors, just because it solidified like, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing it. Like we're actually selling cars, right?
Yeah.
Because for 9 months it was just an idea, and I kept telling my wife, like, it's an idea. I just need to make it to opening day.
Yeah.
An opening day happened and nothing worked. Phones didn't work. Internet didn't work. Nothing worked.
Well, that's how it always is.
Yeah, of course, right? And when we first sold our first car, that was very I loved it. That was probably to be the one car deal that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And it actually happened to be one of my fraternity brothers from college.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm looking for this, and we found it. We did the deal, and I was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, I was like, this is our first sale. He was like, you're joking. So we took a picture. It's awesome. It's in my office. That to me is the most rewarding deal that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you sold for yourself, so
Right.
obviously that's like a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like it was definitely a good step to just finally pull the trigger, step out on your own. Do you feel like it's been the same stress, significantly more stressful than just being a sales manager of somebody else's dealership in general?
I'd say it's definitely a lot more stress. But I've had stress being a general manager or general sales manager or sales director at all the other stores. But now it's the stress, yes, it is all mine, but also the W's are all mine as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when the store would lose money at some other places, yeah, I would never lose money. And here, if I lose money, then I lose money, right? But also if we win, now if we're profitable, I'm profitable. It's mine, right? Stress you're going to have no matter what,
Yep.
right? Is it a little bit more? Yes, but it's a lot more gratifying.
Yeah.
Than it ever has been. The highs are highs, the lows are lows, right?
Yeah.
And there's a couple days that I'm like, man, like, what did I get myself into, right?
Yeah.
But when we kill it, like, when we sell, like today, we're selling 4 cars. You're not gonna knock the smile on my face.
Big Friday.
Oh yeah, we're Big Friday. We're closing out the month strong, right? We're gonna be profitable, which is great. It's a little bit more stressful, but I'd rather to have this stress than that stress.
Yeah.
Of working for somebody else.
Yeah, because you would definitely rather have it on your shoulders.
100%.
It all ends here. The buck stops here.
Yeah, exactly.
Than making somebody else let
Millions.
them make the decision.
I mean, because I know that I've made people millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Over my career. So
yeah,
now
because you know the numbers.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So I know that, if we do make millions in this business, they will at least be mine this time, right?
That's right.
So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been open for about a year so far. Mm-hmm. What's been the one thing that has been by far the most difficult? Why was it difficult? How did you resolve it?
Probably getting our actual dealer license.
Okay.
Because finding a building was tough, but we got that situated in 45 days. I had my staff, I had my vendors. I already knew like the business, right? Yeah. The hardest part was getting your license. The state, it's kind of a hurry up and wait type of deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some guys that have, they get their license in 4 months. There's some guys that wait 9 months.
Yeah.
I got mine in 7 weeks.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you were on it.
Oh, yeah.
Or the state was on it. Somebody was on it.
I was on them.
Okay.
So I called them every day at 8 a.m. Every day, like clockwork. They already knew that I was calling them. Like I knew everybody at the state by name, right? I was willing to send them Starbucks. Like just pull my file.
So they would pick up, say, "Hey, Ivan, good morning.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you again."
Yeah, like, hey, it's not through you. I'm like, yes, it is. Like it's there. Like my license is there. They asked for additional documents. Oh, it's there. I mean, I was about to drive down to Austin and be like, hey, just pull my file.
Yeah.
Like my stuff's airtight.
Yeah.
That was probably the most, to me, stressful thing because you're relying on somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And the state doesn't care. They get 1,000 applications a month. They don't care. You're gonna wait your turn.
Right.
So that was my thing. I was like, I'm gonna call you every day until you pull my file.
Yeah.
That was the one thing because it was up to somebody else and it wasn't in my control.
Yeah.
If I fail due to something that I did, and I had control over it, that I can live with.
Yeah.
But someone else being in control of my future, that I couldn't live with.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me do what I can to push this through.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. Like, yours is specific to a license, that's specific to your industry. Mm-hmm. But it all kind of goes back to what we've talked about the whole time with this whole work ethic and like self-motivated individual, those types of things, where it's good for the listeners to hear that, like, the bottom line is you can't just sit around and just say, oh, well, I've done as much as I can and just let that be the bottom line. Like, you've got to take things into your own hands and do as much as you can, even if it's something that may not seem like it's making a difference. I mean, the statistics show, based off what you just said, you got it in 7 weeks. Yeah. Some people, it takes 10 times that long.
Yeah, 100%. So I tell them, like, there's always something you can do. A lot of people are like, well, that's it. Like, that's all you can do. No, there's always something else. I say that everything's like a pull shot. There's always an angle. You just got to find it.
Yeah.
My father taught us that a long time ago. Life is like a car deal, a business deal, life. It's like a pull shot. You just got to find the angle. There's always an angle.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see, maybe there's somebody, maybe there's not. Tell us about somebody that's other than your family, because we know your family's a huge part of your life. We've talked about them a good bit. Who's somebody that you've had in your life that's really inspired you in business in general? And why did they inspire you?
So I tell people all the time, I've had probably over 10 mentors that I still talk to this day. In my 20s, there was a certain somebody. In my, late 20s, there's certain somebody. I can name them: Mel Soto, like David Kelly, several people, Philip Ackerman, Wes Spence. They've all taught me different things that have made me who I am today in the business aspect. David Kelly taught me, not just hard work ethic, but how to get to the top and how to maximize every single deal when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right. He owned a multi-million-dollar dealership already, but he took me under his wing, like taught me just the most basic things in the car business. Right. Mel Soto, who I worked with as a finance manager at the Toyota store, who he was starting his own business at the time, which was like still entry windows and doors.
Yeah.
He would literally, be a finance guy, would make that money, invest into his company. Once the company wasn't doing too hot, would go back into the car business, and so he would not give up. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my business. Now his business is doing amazing. Right? Philip Ackerman, who came and took over the Toyota store that I was working at, he taught me that be compassionate with your employees. You can't be a hard ass every single day.
Yeah.
You can't beat them to a pulp and not build them up. You can break them down, but you got to build them up as well.
Yeah.
He taught me to be compassionate with my employees. And ever since I took that, I changed the way that I manage salespeople, the way that I manage sales managers, the way that I manage my business now. I'm a little bit more compassionate. I can't be just focused on the heroes and zeros because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't retain people that way.
Yeah.
So I've had several mentors over my career that I tell them every time that I get a chance to speak to them, like, hey, I am who I am, not just because of my family, but because of all you guys, right?
Yeah.
I always say that I take the best of everybody and I try to be a sponge and make it my own, because I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be this person. I'm still going to be Ivan, right? But I'm going to take the best of you and try to put my own spin on it. And how can I make this me?
Yeah. I like that a lot. I like especially the sponge of all those people, because that's the whole purpose of chasing the margin, is to be a sponge of all these individual entrepreneurs who are very successful, doing well for themselves. I want to take that and put that in the ears of whoever wants to listen, so that they can hear what success looks like. So talk to us then about, do you think mentorship is important? And then two, also, what have you changed about maybe incentivizing your employees? How do you manage them? What do you do to actually manage the people that work for you differently than maybe you did before, and how you viewed things before that mentor kind of changed your mindset?
I would say you definitely need mentorship. You have to, because, my father always say, hey, if you hang out with, 5 dumbasses, guess what you're going to be? No, literally, he was like, he's like, you're going to be the 6th one, right? Which it's crazy. My dad's illiterate, didn't go to high school, didn't go to any school, not one day of school, doesn't know how to read or write.
Yeah.
But he just knew work, right? And he's like, I never hung out with so and so and so. I never hung out with anybody because they had nothing. They had nothing that I could gain from them. So I learned at a very young age. Okay, so I need to put myself in rooms where I'm the dumbest person in the room, because if you are, guess what? You're going to learn from these other guys, and you're going to get smarter.
Yeah.
You are. It's a fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, mentorship is huge. If someone's willing to take you under the wing and they're successful, don't listen to the guy that's not successful and, hey, I'm going to take you under my wing. That's not the guy to follow.
Not the best mentor.
No, not the best mentor. But if someone's, they're successful, right, have a good family life, you can tell that their business is doing great, they're willing to take you under their wing, absolutely follow them, right? Don't necessarily try to be them, because I see that a lot. People get confused. Like, no, be a sponge. What's their best characteristics? What do you think got them there? And take that, right, and then apply that to yourself and put your own spin on it. I always tell you, don't try to be them. And as far as like my staff, I mentor them in a way where I give them enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now with the dealership, I'm telling I got a manager who's kind of now going to hire and fire. I'm like, hey, these guys don't work for me. The new future employees, they work for you.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm giving him enough rope to hang himself to make mistakes.
But you're giving him power.
Yeah, 100%. You have to, because he's going to make mistakes, but it's my job to try to curb as much as I can, but give him a little bit of leniency, because that's how you learn. You're going to learn from your mistakes. And you use that as a teaching moment. Not just, just because he made a mistake, you fire the guy. No, use it as a teaching moment. You turn that negative into a positive. Because I remember if I would have got fired for every time I made a mistake, I wouldn't be here. Right. So a lot of these guys, like Kate Simpson, right? Another one of my mentors just came to my mind. There have been endless amount of times the guy could have fired me, but no, he used every single moment as a teaching experience, and I learned from it.
Yeah.
You know, and I managed some of my guys the way he managed me. Right? I
Right.
get it. People are going to make mistakes. It's life. They're not going to be perfect. But when you use it as a teaching moment, guess what? They're going to start, they're going to hire people to retain for your company. 2, they're going to start being mentors for somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that's wisdom, because
100%.
ultimately,
Yeah.
if Ivan has to be there for every sale, if Ivan has to do everything in the business, if Ivan has to show up for every meeting, tell everybody what to do, never step away, it's not really a business. It's just Ivan working.
100%. So what, like right now, right? My guys are running the show. You know, I've left just last week. I was in Canada, right? And I'm like, hey, you're running the show.
We'll come back to that here. In just
Yeah.
a second.
I'm like, you're running the show. I shouldn't have to be here, because if I do have to be here for every second of the day, then I haven't taught you all the things that you need to know to run this business.
Yeah.
Because I tell people, you know, for years now, from the day you start working with me, not for me, with me, to the last day that you leave, I'm going to hand you off into the world in a better position than you were when you first came.
That's good.
Because I'll never hold anybody back, right? If you have a better job offer, I've negotiated people's pay plans to go somewhere else. I'm like, hey, they're willing to give you that, go. But I think you get this more,
Yeah.
right? I'll never hold anybody back, because no one's ever tried to hold me back, at least that I know of, right? But
Yeah.
that I know of, I'm sure somebody has. But you know, I always tell people, like, hey, I'm going to put you in a better situation than you were when you first came to me. That's my goal. And if I can do that for you, then I did my job.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way. My brother was the same way. Like, we take pride in breeding thoroughbreds, is what we say.
Yeah.
Like, we take pride in that,
Yeah.
because there's guys that I can call right now. Like, if my store, if I needed to have 10 sales guys, I could have them there tomorrow, just by picking up the phone, like, hey, I need you.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they owe it to me, even though they don't. I tell them, hey, I taught you what you did with the information, or the wisdom that I gave you. It's all you. But we take pride in putting guys in a much better situation, financially, family-wise, work-wise, right? Everything, when they first came to us than when they left us.
Yeah. That's good. Well, let's get into a couple, maybe some fun questions.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it.
Yeah.
You were in Canada.
Yeah.
Why were you in Canada?
For the F1 race.
For the F1 race.
Yeah,
That's right.
Montreal, yeah.
Yeah. Working.
Yeah, working. Actually, I did connect with somebody there. I dropped my cards off in a McLaren in somebody's windshield, and I was like, hey, we ship anywhere. And he called me, and he actually is coming by the store next week.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll have to have you back on and hear about the McLaren story of how you went to F1 and sold a McLaren.
Exactly.
So have we had any sponsorships then from any of the F1 teams?
Yeah, I wish.
Wolfe Motors on the F1 car one day?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, we'll be in the paddock hanging out.
Yeah, that's right.
You're coming.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming. There's no question about that. Did you get to meet anybody? What'd you do that was fun there in F1? Anything?
Well, it was my first race, so it was super cool. I mean, the casino was cool. I mean, the whole vibe, the whole weekend was awesome. I mean, Montreal if you haven't gone, go. It's super fun.
Yeah.
I met a wonderful couple. We met a wonderful couple at a bar out there, and they kind of showed us the town. So it was nice. I love it. I mean, just the whole environment for the F1 race was super cool. I loved it.
Yeah. And who's your F1 team?
Red Bull.
Red
Red Bull. Yeah.
Why Red Bull?
Max Verstappen, baby.
Max.
Verstappen. No, I'll tell you why. It's funny you asked why Red Bull, because my wife was like, she's a big Lewis Hamilton fan. I'm a fan too of Lewis Hamilton. He's great, right? One of the greatest of all times. She's like, why Red Bull?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, have you seen their marketing?
Yeah.
They're not Nike. They're not Adidas. They're not, whatever, major brands. They're not.
Yeah.
They're an energy drink. But the way that they put themselves out there, they just get into the risky sports like cliff diving, right? Or, jumping out of a helicopter, snowboarding. Like, they just do the weird off the wall, cool, like exhilarating sports.
Yeah.
And I love that. And their marketing is insane.
Yeah.
That's why I love Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately why you started following those people.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously it doesn't hurt that Max is the 4-time world champion.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. We like to support the champions.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, so couple more questions.
All right.
what is, not just at Wolfe Motors, just in general, what is the coolest car in your opinion that you've ever sold?
I knew you were going to ask this question too.
Well, obviously, you're the car guy. We have to ask this question.
Of all time
All time.
that I've sold,
Yes.
probably a Ford 500 GT
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
with 13 miles. I mean, it still was like, it still had the delivery wrap, like on the
Yeah,
steering
the
wheel,
stickers
and the
and all that
seats,
stuff.
everything. Like,
Yeah.
when it first got delivered to Sandpack Ford, 5-star Ford in Grapevine. I forget, they probably changed names by now, but it still had the original window sticker and everything else, which is funny because it was like, I think it was 04. I don't remember what year it was, but it's that car.
Yeah.
Because at that time we actually mowed the lawns at that dealership.
Yeah.
So whenever that car got
The
delivered,
landscaping company that you have
that my
worked
dad
for. Yeah,
that my dad owned. Yeah,
Yeah.
So whenever that car got delivered, I was mowing that property.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just kind of small world, right?
Yeah.
But it was such a cool car. $500,000. That was also cool.
Yeah. Just a small price tag.
Yeah, just a wee bit. No, but that was probably the coolest car that I've been able to transact. I mean, it's a cool car. I mean, I drove it, around the parking lot. It was a fun car, but
Yeah.
just the fact of what it was, and that when that car got delivered, I was doing that property. I don't know, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Kind of a full circle
Yeah.
moment.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So then on the flip side of that, what will be the coolest car that you will sell at Wolfe Motors at some point down the road? If you could sell any car and it would be like, this is the car, what would it be?
Okay, that's another tough one.
There's so many cars. I mean, I'm asking a car guy. It's like, let me pull it out.
Yeah, probably a Porsche Stinger.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Wow.
not Stinger, Swinger. It's they don't make many of them. I mean, they're probably like $2-3 million, but I think I'm actually working on acquiring one on consignment right now.
Oh, okay.
That will be the car that I'll be like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna blow everybody's socks away. So I'm working on one right now. So that I think would be the coolest car, or a Porsche 918 Spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then this might be the same question or the same answer, rather. So you've owned nice cars.
Mhm.
So I want to know, what's your favorite car that you've owned? That's the first question. The second question is, if you could own any car, what would you want to own?
Right now, like if I could pick any car at this moment, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
But this has kind of been on my radar for about a year now. 911 GT3 2RS.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be like, and that's gonna be our next car. I
Yeah.
won't buy anything else until we buy that.
Yeah.
Probably the coolest car that I've owned. Kind of two. When I first bought my GTR, that was my first nice, super expensive car. So that to me was my a dream come true. I've always wanted one since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But actually, funny story. I mean, the coolest, one of the coolest cars that I've owned or own still is a 1980 Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
When my dad, it's a coupe. It's nice. It's all factory. It's 16,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
When my dad first came to the States, that was his first car that he bought.
Oh, yeah.
Was a 1980 Corolla coupe. So it's a nice little sports car. I get more attention in that car than I have in any other car.
Really?
Yeah, and I still own it.
Yeah.
I still own it. I drive it on the weekends. It's fun. And the reason why, it just reminds me of where we came from, right? Where my parents come from.
Yeah.
And that it just kind of gives me, it reminds me to be grateful for everything. All glory to God. Thanks to Him, we're able to do what we're doing now. And it's just a reminder, a daily reminder. So I love that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of mentioned this whenever you and I were talking fairly recently, how you used to own several cars not that long ago, but then now you don't own as many. And you told me that the reason for that has to do with Wolfe Motors. So kind of explain, why do you not own a whole lot of cars?
I sold essentially everything because to start Wolfe Motors, I mean, it was either two things: liquidate everything, or take on partners. And we did. Me and my wife were so against that, because it goes back to working for somebody else, right? I know the car business like the back of my hand. I know what works. I know what doesn't. When it comes to the retail side, I don't need someone to tell me, hey, this works, this doesn't, especially if it's someone that's not in the car business.
Right.
I've heard nightmare stories where they take on, investors who are doctors or lawyers or, dentists. They don't know anything about the car business,
Yeah.
right? If it was a car guy, that makes sense. But I didn't want to go find an investor. I just wanted it to be me and my wife.
Yeah.
And if we were either gonna kill it or fail, right?
And you
So,
were ready either way.
yeah, either way, I was ready. So instead of taking on partners or anything else, we said, hey, you know what? Let's get our expenses as low as we can. I mean, just lean and mean. I mean, the only thing that we had was our mortgage.
Yeah.
We sold everything else, which is fine. Live within your means, and we put everything into the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. So one of the things that I'm curious about is that I have on here is, did you self-fund everything? Did you have to take out a loan? What was the process of kind of making those decisions? Because you talked about, taking on a partner or not. Other
Right.
people have different opinions.
Right.
What have you done so far financially for the business? How has that worked?
So what we did, when I say we went all in, right? We liquidated the cars. We had some equities in the cars. We had obviously our own cash. We wanted to go the SBA route at one point, but it just didn't. The terms weren't really making sense.
Yeah.
I have a really good buddy of mine who does mortgages. So between some stocks, some 401k stuff that we had, which we didn't take all of it out, we just took a small portion
Sure.
of it. Between that, the stocks, the equity, the cash, we took out a HELOC against our home, right?
Yeah.
And between that, we were able to do the whole thing.
Well, that's good.
And the first thing that we decided to pay back was, the HELOC and everything else to get back to even. But we didn't want to take any partners, and we didn't want the SBA having that lien on the business.
Yeah.
Because looking back, had I done that, I wouldn't have been able to get my floor plan to buy my cars.
Yeah.
So, we did that. Just a mixture of everything. So save your money. Save your money. Trust me, you're gonna need it.
And then as far as a floor plan, kind of just tell us in 15 seconds what a floor plan is.
So floor plan, essentially, it's a line of credit for you to go buy the cars and you pay interest on them. So the cars that I own, I think I have $2.6 million right now in inventory.
Okay.
I don't own those cars with my own cash. Yeah, they're mine, but just like when you go buy a car, right?
Yeah.
The bank owns it.
Right.
Miss a payment, they'll remind you whose car it is, right?
Yeah.
So same thing. I'm paying daily interest on the cars. Let's say I buy a car for $100,000. I'll probably owe them, if I sell it in 30 days, I'll owe them 102.
Yeah.
Right? And I sell the car for 110. Then I make $8,000. I pay the bank. They made $2,000, right? Plus their flooring fee. So that's what a floor plan is. Just essentially a line of credit for you to buy cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So then here's another fun question. Has Wolfe Motors had to get real lean on its cash flow? If so, how lean have you gotten? Or have you just been like killing it right out of the gate?
No, we
just
got lean.
rolling money.
So we opened the second week of April. Nothing worked. I mean, the bank account was down to like $75,000, which is lean.
For
our
your business. That's
Oh yeah,
super
my
lean.
expenses were $50,000 at the time, were $60,000, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, we have enough for 1 month,
Yeah.
right? So granted, the second month, first full month, we killed it. That's now the account's fine. Well, yeah, it was either make or break. I mean, I told the boys, I sat them down, and I'm very transparent. I was like, hey, look, we either sell 25 cars and become profitable, or we're not going to make it to next month.
Yeah.
Or I'll have to go SBA, and they're going to essentially own me, right? And no, we knocked it out of the park our first full month, and now we're fine.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I told my wife, because she started getting a little nervous. I'm like, babe, look, all I need to do is make it one full month, and we're good. Like, I know how to retail. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
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 So then has Ivan had to go without a paycheck a few times since you started the business?
The first 9 months, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
But no, now I'm getting paid. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who wants to start a business, I'll tell you this. Get as lean and mean as you possibly can on your expenses. Mm-hmm. And if you can pay yourself $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, and you can make it work, do it. Because you'll look back and you'll be glad that you did.
Yeah.
But if you have an open day and you want to pay yourself $15,000, $20,000 a month, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You're going to suck the business dry.
Yeah.
And I promise that $15,000, $20,000 in the business account is going to go 10 times further than in your account.
Okay, so let's talk a few more maybe personal questions to wrap us up here. So what do you do to take care of yourself mentally, physically? Do you think mental health, physical health is important? Are you just like all in as a business owner? Tell us about that.
I try to unplug when I get home, but I'll be honest. I'll be sitting on the counter, right? And and I'll be looking at cars of what I'm going to buy tomorrow. I'll wake up sometimes at 2:30 in the morning, be like, oh my God, I forgot that this needs to be done. And I'll just write it in my notes. Try to block, like time blocking is super smart. I get there, we open up at 10, I get there at 8.
Yep.
And because I get more done in those 2 hours before we open because there's no interruptions.
Yeah.
Right. So wake up early, right? Get to work early. You're going to be able to knock out a lot more stuff. Try to unplug when you get home. Be present for your family. I'm not the best at it, but I do try. Go to the gym. Like I try to go to do jiu-jitsu as much as I can. Sometimes I can't make class because we had a late night work deal, or I didn't wake up at 4 a.m. to go do the class. But that definitely helps because those, that hour you're not thinking about work. So that's great. And me and my wife, no matter what, Saturday's just date night.
Yeah.
And Saturdays, like we might talk a little bit about the business, but for the most part, we're just enjoying our evening.
Yeah.
So I think that's what keeps me sane.
Yeah.
Is date night, right? Or Sundays on the golf course. And sometimes I'll talk about work on the golf course, but for the most part, I think my relief is date night with my wife on Saturdays.
Yeah. So then I guess that and your son.
Yeah.
Is date night the thing that you do with your wife that's like you do that regardless? What do you do with your son?
No matter what, we'll mess around every night when I get home, whether that's because he does jiu-jitsu too, whether that's us rolling in the bed or fighting on the couch,
Yeah.
or we'll play video games. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
We like to get in the car wherever we're going, and I was like, hey, you want to be DJ, and he'll play his music, and we'll just sing our little hearts out going down the tollway. That's our thing. We've always done that since I can remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, him, it's a daily thing. Obviously, me and my wife we'll lay in bed and we'll talk, but him we'll banter and play fight all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So parenthood, easy or hard?
Hard for sure.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, right? Because there's so much in the world. So we just try to have the conversations with him daily about what's right, what's wrong, because there's so much out there. But he's a good kid. We were blessed. I mean, he's sharp, he's smart, he knows what's right, what's wrong. And yeah, he's not good at he'll tell on himself.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, gotta tell you something. I'm like, what? I had 2 ice creams today. I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't have known. I'm not sitting here counting ice creams, but he's a very honest kid. So, but parenting is not easy because they don't come with manuals, right?
Yeah.
But we were blessed to have a respectful, very driven young man. So we're excited.
That's good. So has anything with Wolfe Motors made parenting harder? Has it been the same? Have there been any challenges yet?
No challenges yet. No challenges yet. I mean, he loves it, going to the store, and he runs around. He's like, "Hey, where's my office?" and everything else. And it's good to teach him, like, "Hey, look, this is how the business operates. This is what I do. This is what I do on a daily basis." Like, he saw me buying cars at auction. I had like 10 different lanes going on. He sat on my lap and he was bidding on a couple cars. I'm like, "Do you think this?" He's like, $20,000 for that car? He's like, that's too much. I go, "Well, we could sell it for 30." He goes, "Well, that makes sense." He goes, "Yeah, let's buy that one." Right. So it's been kind of cool just showing him the backgrounds of what I do every day.
Yeah.
So I love that part of it.
Yeah.
He likes to run around. He doesn't like to take the trash out of the dealership. He's like, "I don't want to do that. I want to do something more like," he's like, "I want to do something cooler." I'm like, "Well, we'll see if you can get to that point one day."
Yeah.
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 So
That's cool.
yeah.
So do you think that because of you and your wife being parents to him, do you think maybe he'll have a leg up with some of the things that you've taught him? What are some of the things that you've tried to intentionally teach him so that he can be maybe above some of his peers in general?
He'll definitely be a master negotiator. I'll tell you that. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
Like now he's like, "Hey, how much can I get for this? How much can I get for that?" And he'll counter you. And, until he gets to a deal that he thinks is fair, he's going to grind you.
Yeah.
So I love that. He's definitely going to be a master negotiator. I can already feel that. But he's going to be business savvy. Just because he sees all the backgrounds on how everything works.
Yeah.
And when he's 18, if he wants to go to college, hey, here's college paid for. Or, hey, here's X amount of dollars. You want to go start your own business? I'll help you. Or, hey, you want to buy into Wolfe Motors? I'll let you buy into Wolfe Motors. You can buy a piece.
Yeah.
Right? Those are his options. I'm not going to stick him to the traditional, like, "Hey, you got to go to college." You want to go to college? I'll pay for your college.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to go to college, you want to go start your own business, whatever I was going to spend on your college, here's the money, go start your own business. But after that, like, we're done.
Yeah.
There's no more funding.
Yeah, let's talk about that then, because I feel like a lot of the people that I talk with that are very successful, and I've even seen it to where they want to help their kids. Like part of becoming successful, I'm sure you feel this, is you want to support your family, you want to provide for your family, but then there's always that struggle of do you give them too much? Have you had those thoughts? Do you struggle with that at all?
I struggle with that a lot,
Yeah.
right? Because I wish I would have had his life when I
Right.
was his age, right? And I didn't.
Right.
So, as a parent, you want to give your kids everything, but you don't want to give them too much
Yeah.
because then they don't understand how life works. They don't understand the concept of money, right?
Right.
They just think money grows on trees and everything's great. It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, I fight that daily.
Yeah.
I fight that daily, and I try to pull back, and I try not to give them too much. But that's a constant battle, and I think everybody has to work on that, especially in today's day and age where everything is so accessible and they think that everything's deserving and
Right.
everything should be easy. We pull back the reins as much as we can. Like, hey, like, dude, like, you can't just go spend $400 on Roblox or Fortnite. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? So now
Yeah.
we put him a bank account and he has his allowance for chores that he does or whatever, right? And you spend your own money. You're not spending my money.
He has to work for it.
Oh, 100%. And I tell him all the time, like, mom and dad are okay. We're not rich. We're well off,
Yeah.
right? You're not. You're broke.
Right.
Let there be no doubt. You are broke.
Yeah.
We do okay.
Yeah.
Enough for have a nice house, food, go to nice restaurants. That's it. We're not rich by any means or wealthy, but you are broke.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I want to work. Okay, cool. I can teach you that. But I don't want you to think that, you've made it because you have not.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think you would be who you are today if you would have had his life?
oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, I could absolutely not. I'd be terrible. I'm glad that I went through all the struggle that I went through with, working and, all the whoopings my dad gave me because no, not a chance. I'd been spoiled rotten.
Yeah.
So no, I'm glad. And I tell my mom all the time because she feels bad. She's like, it sucks that you had to go through all that stuff, working and yada yada. I'm like, Mom, I'm glad I did it because I'd have been terrible if I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was looking back, if I had to go through all that all over again, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I get it.
100%.
Okay. So then on that subject, and we'll wrap up with this question.
Mhm.
What is your favorite thing to spend money on? If you can spend money on anything, any dollar amount, what would you spend it on? Why would you do it?
Cars.
Of course, it's cars.
Cars. Or it's three things: cars, suits, watches.
Yeah. What kind of watch?
Besides my wife. Besides my wife.
We'll
watch.
replay that back. We'll
Yeah.
start with wife.
Wife, watches, car. Yeah, no. Watch. I mean, yeah, that's my thing. Like after I have all the cars, like I want to start collecting some watches.
Yeah.
I mean, I love every Rolex you could probably name. I want to get matching ones with my wife. Like that's the thing. That's my favorite things: is cars, watches, suits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my vices.
Any suit in particular? Because we've talked about the cars.
Yeah.
We've talked about Rolexes
Yeah.
now, which you're good with any Rolex.
Right.
What about suits?
All my suits are custom. So I've had my tailor since 2009.
Okay.
I started buying just shirts from him and graduated to suits. So all my suits are from him. But if I had to pick like a brand, there's not a specific brand. I just like going to Rome and Italy and just shop there.
Yeah. Why not?
It's a better deal. It's like half of what it costs here in the States.
Really?
And it's like the fabrics are just a lot better quality. So I would say suits in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ivan, we really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything maybe that you want to leave the audience with? Some advice that you would give them as far as starting their own business, work ethic? We've talked about all kinds of stuff. If you could wrap it up in 20 seconds, what would you say to them?
I would say the biggest thing that was what made me hesitant to open up Wolfe Motors was the fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that fear stop you from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you fail, I promise you're going to learn something that you didn't know before, and you'll still be in a much better position than you were than before you did it.
Yeah.
So my wife helped me fight and push through that fear, right? That was my biggest thing so don't let the fear of failure stop you. Just do it. Just do it.
I think that's good because I've always heard, several very successful people say they don't do anything if there's not a chance that they could fail, because when they succeed, that's where that sense of accomplishment really kicks in.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. So don't let fear consume you. Just go for it.
just go for it.
Just go for it.
Ivan says just go for it.
Just go
So,
for it.
well, thanks, Ivan. We appreciate it, man. And this is awesome. So
Awesome, dude. Thanks.
we'll have you come back on.
For sure.